Hello and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to be looking at game week 12 transfers and who I think you should consider bringing into your team. We will also having a quick look as well at players that have done well so far but maybe we should probably look at offloading. Right then, so my first option got split into two options because I couldn't quite decide which centre back at Everton I wanted. Both of them are very good picks I think right now. I wouldn't pick them both because I wouldn't recommend having two Everton centre backs because if worse comes to worse, it'd be a nightmare, wouldn't it? But first, Connor Cody, slightly more expensive than Tarkowski, 4.9 million, but he does get the returns. That's why he is a very tasty centre back to get. He is cheap, and like I said, the fixtures are good. Whereas you could go Tarkowski though, who's slightly cheaper, doesn't get the returns often, but you look at those fixtures, there's clean sheets there. And what you want to do really right now is spread that money in the midfield and maybe on a striker. So that's why I think you should probably go for a Connor Cody or a Tarkowski. It's really tough to pick. I can't decide myself. Maybe you can. Mo Salah, is he finally back? Is he finally back? He's just scored 3 goals against Rangers and now he's just scored last night against Man City. Is he actually finally back? Are Liverpool finally going to kick on from that win last night? If so, look what he's got coming up. West Ham at home. I think Mo Salah could score in that game, and with Man City and Arsenal blanking, you may be looking at a certain somebody to come out, and you got some money to bring in someone like Mo Salah in. West Ham at home, I think he could score, but then look at that game week 13, Nottingham Forest away. I think maybe it is the time to bring Mo Salah back because a lot of us got rid of him in the wild card. Now could be the right time to bring him from now to the World Cup because look at this: Forest away, Leeds at home, and Southampton at home, all to come. I think Mo Salah should be in your team now because he looked good last night. Could he be back? Let's hope so. Right, next up we've got Rico Henry, Brentford, 4.5 million, 1% owned. Now so far big at the back hasn't worked, so maybe you're looking at offloading some of those players and bringing in cheaper defenders, bringing in some better midfielders. At 4.5 million, I think Rico Henry is a very good differential, very cheap, and it could work out for you. Obviously Brentford have only got 3 clean sheets this season, and Henry only has the 1 assist, so they've not been great. Now if you look at game week 12, Chelsea at home, that is a tough one. It could go either way depending on which Chelsea turns up. So I reckon they won't get a clean sheet in that game. Then you're looking at 13, 14, 15. Villa don't know how to attack. Wolves don't know how to attack. Forest, they're all over the place. They don't even know who they are. So there could be 3 clean sheets in a row there. You never know. And at 4.5 million, I think that could be a nice little gamble to go for, really. And then game week 16, I just recommend dropping in that game, put him on your bench, or maybe even selling him. But yeah, Rico Henry, 4.5 million. For those fixtures, I think maybe he will be a good buy. Next up, we've got a Crystal Palace defender. Now, picking a Crystal Palace player itself is not as easy as you think because, for whatever reason, Patrick Vieira just seems to out of nowhere drop a play here and there. So it's been difficult to decide, especially in defenders, which defender to go for. I did think a few weeks ago maybe Tyreek Mitchell, but then he got dropped and Jeffrey Slupp played at left back instead. Gay, maybe 4.3. He's slightly cheaper than Ward at 4.5. And Anderson's just come back again, 4.5. But Ward, I've just looked at Joel Ward. He's played every game, 90 minutes. He's 4.5 million. He gets the odd bonus points here and there. And he is attacking. And I do believe Crystal Palace have the best fixtures now until the World Cup. Let me look at Wolves they've got at home. Wolves, like I just said before, they ain't got a clue how to attack. So there's a very high chance he will get a clean sheet. Everton away. Everton, I don't think they know what they're doing either at the minute. They're very hot and cold. Southampton at home. There's another clean sheet I think there. West Ham away. That could be their only tough one. But even then, that could be a 0-0. And then Forest away. I think they could do very well against Forest. 4.5 million. Look how that as well. 0.4% owned. This guy is definitely what we call a differential. And he's somebody I'm considering putting in my team as well. Joel Ward, 4.5. Look at those fixtures. I think he'd be a fantastic pick from now until the World Cup. Right, now let's look at players we should look at taking out our team. First up is Rhys James. Sadly, it has now been confirmed that it is a serious injury and he is going to be out for a long time. So it is now the time to get rid of him. And even then, if you did have him, you could look at probably selling him then, because fixtures didn't look great. But sadly, it is now time to get rid of Rhys James. 6 million. You need that money in your team. It has been a shame. He has been disappointing this season. Not all his fault of his own. I mean, he did get put right centre back at first, and then he's getting put on right wing back for like half a game. So we've all been very unfortunate with Rhys James this season. Sadly, it hasn't worked out, and he is going to be out now till the new year. So it is unfortunate time to take him out of your team. Harry Kane next. Now this one has been a tough decision because he's in my team, so that clearly shows you maybe I'm thinking about getting rid of him. He has been brilliant this season. He's been so consistent. Except that game week 1 against Southampton, he's got a return every game week since, and you can't complain about that. The reason why he's here now, those fixtures don't look great. Man United away, that'll be tough. Newcastle at home, tough. Bournemouth away sounds easy, but Bournemouth themselves at home, they've done very well, and they need to stay doing well to stay in this league. Liverpool at home, that'll be tough. And then Leeds at home, yeah, I think he'll do alright there, but that's 2 out of the 5. Doesn't sound great, does it? And if you want to bring someone, let's say like a Mo Salah in, and you need to find funds, maybe taking Kane out now is the right thing to do, which is a shame because he's been brilliant, but I can't see him keeping this up now. So that's why I think maybe is the time to get rid of Harry Kane. Right, finally we've got Kevin De Bruyne. Again, you're probably thinking, why? He's consistent, just like Harry Kane is. Yeah, you're right. Why would you get him out of your team? Good point. Why? Well, they got a blank in game week 12, and if you got 3 Man City, 3 Arsenal, for example, maybe you need to offload a couple. And Kevin De Bruyne, one of the most expensive. I mean, you're not going to touch Haaland, so you look at KDB, get rid of him maybe, put some money in your midfield, spread it out a bit. Or, if you want to bring in Mo Salah, you can probably now do a straight swap because they're so identical. And I would probably recommend doing that sooner rather than later because he's very highly owned at the minute, KDB, and if a lot of people start selling him, his value is going to drop, and you might not be able to do that straight swap for Salah. You might have to make 2 transfers instead of 1. So that's why I recommend maybe getting rid of him now. Plus, if you've not got Phil Foden, for example, he's 8.3 million. Maybe bring him in. Not now, obviously, because he's got a blank coming up the following week. And then you got more money spread around, get more for maybe 8 million midfielders because they seem to be where we're going right now. So that's why I recommend maybe getting rid of KDB. And there you have it. That is my Game Week 12 transfer tips. If you like that video, please like. Don't forget, even if you didn't like it, you can still like it anyway. And maybe leave a comment and tell me what I'm doing wrong. That would help. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button as well. Thank you.